Hello, hello! Today we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations Collection with Miles Edgeworth. I almost said Miles Morales. That's the wrong Miles. Miles Edgeworth! I've only played the original Phoenix Wright trilogy so far, so this is gonna be fun. I really like Edgeworth. Edgeworth is one of my favorite characters. And, I know, it's a very unique opinion right there. No, I do really like Miles Edgeworth. If you have not played the original Phoenix Wright trilogy or watched the playthrough, or you just don't care, play the trilogy, watch the trilogy, do that first. The VOD's gonna be up on my YouTube. Because, there's probably gonna be spoilers for that game in this game, and even if there's not, I'm gonna say spoilers, because I want to talk about that game. There's definitely gonna be moments where I'm gonna want to talk about it. So, on with the game. Title selection. So it's either Investigations, Prosecutor's Gambit. And Investigations comes first, so I'm doing that one. But I do, I like the background to this one, But, Investigations first. Actually, in the options, you can actually change the art style, to whether or not you want it to be pixel art or HD. I'm gonna go with HD. That's just what I'm gonna go with for now. I know some people don't like this because of Miles' huge forehead, but I think they look good. I think it looks good. Look at the lighting on the leg when he's walking. It looks really cool. So yeah. 8th Attorney, Miles Edgeworth Investigations. Let's do this. Yes. I got an achievement for playing with the HD graphics. March 14th. That's almost my birthday. Almost. Not quite, but it's close. Make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. I saw Steel Samurai back there. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry. Maybe I wasn't. This is Miles' office. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. Who are these people? Oh, that's a gun. No matter what the cost. Oh, and it's... Cool, Miles is gonna get framed for murder. That's great. This guy looks like a douchebag. Oh, I didn't read that. Something about a prodigy. Always have been, always will be. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. Miles! It's hard to believe I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office, and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? That is a look of shocker. What the? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I completely forgot to mention. Hold on. Wait. Look at my chest. I gave myself a little lawyer's badge. I drew myself a little lawyer's badge for the stream. I completely forgot to mention that I did that. No, I have that now. So that's cool, Little lawyer's badge for the Phoenix. For the Ace Attorney. I think it's cool. What size was I before this? I think it was about this size. Okay. What the? Dead man. What's the meaning of this? If I had a nickel for every time that a dead body was found in Miles's private property, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Freeze! Gun. Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Bang. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. That's a great way to get shot, Miles. I'm gonna be so for real. That's an amazing way to get shot. Pussy! My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases in some very frantic and busy days. 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He is a detective with the local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa! Sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. I don't think that's how it works, but okay, go off. Oh, it's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. My first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene in my office. Is it really a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? For security reasons, this office door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Edgeworth told Gumshoe to think for a minute. Logic? He said he's not logical. By finding the connection between two pieces of information. and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. It's explaining logic. So how do you use it, Gumshoe? Gumshoe, I'm trying to... I want to support you, man, but how do you use logic? You're the reason there are instructions on the shampoo bottles. First, I recall the information we've gathered with Q, and then I connect them together with T. Gumshoe. Edgeworth, what are you saying? What are you saying, Edgeworth? What's Q? What's T? Are you calling me a cutie? Now use Q and recall the facts. Crime scene, my office. And the office key. Connect! For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of the crime as a mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Why did it happen in my office? What was the killer after? He left the gun? Man, this murderer sucks. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information isn't lined up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic... Oh my god. If I think carefully before Oh my god. If I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. Begin investigation. The basics of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, when I want to examine something, I simply use space when I'm next to it. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use T, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. It's something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Okay, first I'm going to the murder weapon. Excuse... Hello? Oh, space. Does it have to be? Can I... Hello? Wait, I almost had it. There it is. What could we have here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before! Could you enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. That's how you know Gumshoe isn't American. But now that I think about it, you see the model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it has the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. Okay, good to know, good to know. There's also a dead body over here. I feel like I should examine the dead body. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, well, it looks like this is where the bullet... Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at 2:05 a.m. If it went clean through, then the bullet should be somewhere else. Are you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find, either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have to press E to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence, I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Okay. Now there's blood on his hand. Okay, now it's the same thing. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey! I have the exact same thing, actually! What a coinky-dink! Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith, it would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. Seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. I also have, there's more things to examine. I don't believe it! I packed those files on those shelves so tight. Not even an earthquake can make them fall off, but just look at them! At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. A problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf, huh? Hello? Oh. Wait, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm getting a call. I'm back. Had a phone call. But now the phone call's done. Take that text off. Okay. Anything else to examine? Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, I just read it all the time, and the effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? No, he doesn't. I think I've examined everything. Yeah, alright. Gotta use some logic. Killer's goal. Revolver. Victim was a detective. Connect! I think these connect. The revolver, standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir! On it now, sir! Excuse me, pal, let's see, what do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! This guy's wearing a gun holster! So it appears our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Okay. Let's see, what else can we find out about this revolver? As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at every piece of evidence. You can use the arrow keys to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use Q and E to zoom in and out and get at the nitty-gritty. You can also spin it with the mouse, it seems. It's missing some bullets. Hey, excuse me, can I... Wait, is it? It's hard to tell. Okay, I can just use the... Only one round was fired. Oh, okay, then... Okay, then that's weird. Because he shot at the painting, the cloak, jacket. He fired at the jacket and the victim, so 2 bullets should be missing. Which means this is probably the one that was used to fire at the jacket. And the murder weapon is something else. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just 1 shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about what we're gonna find out. Should send the body to, Jim! Hey, that's the murderer! We saw him in the cutscene! Why, oh why? How could this ever happen to a guy like you? Yeah, like you don't fucking know, buddy. Like you don't fucking know. Oh my god! Hello there, Ezra. I'm doing good, how are you? I was just solving a murder. This guy was the one who did it. There was a cutscene, just a few minutes ago, showing who killed this guy, and it was him. And now he's pretending that he wasn't the one that did it. So that's fun. Why, oh why, how could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? He's fine. The tired models are getting up to bed. It's time. Grab the cup of coffee. Oh, good job completing the model that you're doing. Yeah, I rigged this model, so I know it's not. I know rigging models aren't easy. And especially if it's a 3D one, that would make it even harder, I think. Thank you. Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just leave me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him! He's just some lump of flesh! It's like you maybe can. Yeah, I mean, we just had to explain to Gumshoe what logic is. So I think you might be doing a bit better than Gumshoe in that regard. Look at him! Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Oh sure, just in blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jacques Sportsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. Thank you. Yeah, I always, it's just been a thing of mine that I see like PNG tubers and VTubers just standing in the corner of the screen, and I always thought that looked a little awkward. So when I did mine, I wanted him to not be doing that, and it was just the easiest way to do it. Yeah, sure. I'm not sure how that happened. Discord? Wait, do I know you? Yeah, nah, I think, nah, gonna play the game. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, this is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. That's just how things work around. I will not. I know how things work around here. Prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, you killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip his whole time, pal. And the key to the door is with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me! Gumshoe, that's not really what you want to say. It's not... Gumshoe, I think now you're the prime suspect. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. And that's why we had to explain logic to him. So it's you then! You're Jim's killer! No, wait, pal, you got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. Alright, my mistake. I tend to get a little hot-headed at sometimes. You sure are one cool cucumber, though. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call it a truce and work together, okay? You murdered the man. Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry to barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir. I want you to capture the scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. He's catching it on camera. His final farewell. He's like a family vlogger. I should probably give them some space. Alright. No, hey. Yeah, your jacket! Sir, what's it doing on the floor? Must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing around. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your Prosecutorial debuting? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? Take you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. Phoenix! He's talking about Phoenix. Yeah, they're so gay. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my detective skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it, the bullet hole where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press T with conviction. When I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. That's how I do things. Present! Eureka! Sounds like a nerd. This bullet hole is a contradiction! What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Yeah, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that! Talk about dusty! I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put the thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talking about squashing my hopes and dreams. Every prosecutor has one in their office, only they know how to use them trial evidence use. Okay, so that's probably where the gun is. Since the murderer was a prosecutor, he probably put it in a safe. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Did you find it to be a bit too clean, Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself, You there, forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. All the fingerprints have been wiped off. Okay. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots of the information we have. Alright, logic. That might be it. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests, that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder how, if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft, changes what the other pieces of information could tell me about this crime. Signs of a struggle. Another handgun. Is there something here? Or is there... There is more to examine. I keep forgetting that I can't just click. Ah, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir! That killer is gonna pay. This tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. Hey Joe, you need to get Edgeworth a new tea set. Costs more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Really like the animation. It's really smooth. Oh, it's your trophy, the Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors, and it's not a trophy, it's a shield. It only sends us to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir! I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Oh my god. I wanna... handprints. Imagine they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, though I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. I'm not very good at chess. Like, I know how all the pieces work and stuff, and I can see strategy. I don't know strategies. I kind of just play by ear. But I don't know how to checkmate. Like, I know how to stalemate. I can stalemate all day, but I don't know how to checkmate. Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? That one's come with a card attached every month, like clockwork for you? Yep. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. All will be resolved. Wendy. Oh, old bag. Oh, old bag. We love you, old bag. Oh, Miss Irony, how painful are thy thorns. Wendy, isn't that the name of the old lady with the whiny voice that's stuck? Edgeworth, buddy, you need to get a frickin'... Oh, what's the word? Okay, well there's a word for this, but I literally cannot think of what it is right now. That's enough, detective. You need not remind me further. Steel Samurai! That's a good thing my Steel Samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but... the hero of the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo Tokyo is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai, along with the loot of merchandise and even a new stage show gives it presence. You showed her a lot. Are you sure it's not some sort of, you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. That conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. So tiny, it looks newer than when I first bought it. Oh yeah, that thing's so polished it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, Detective. My job is to protect your officer. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit, the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. This picture is too important to mess up. I'll leave the man to his art. Can I talk to him? T. It's T. You called, sir? Notice anything? Is there anything you noticed that you'd like to share, Detective Gumshoe? Just that I rushed over here as soon as I heard there was a murder in your office, sir. The investigation's just gotten started, so I guess there's not much else to say. So, were you the one that found the body, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately, upon my return, I found my office door to be unlocked, and what awaited me inside was the whole messy affair. Ouch, that's rough. Even though I left the security of this room to a certain detective. Sorry, sir. Are you investigating? I assume you understand how to conduct investigations, Detective Gumshoe. Of course, sir. Examine anything and everything with space. By checking various things out, we can gather all sorts of evidence and information. You could say the evidence we've collected will be. For information and leads, it's Q. That's it. Great job, sir. Deductive reasonable is the way to go. It's called deductive reasoning, Detective. Clearly something you lack. Oh, man. I seem to have picked up a few good leads. Oh, so now you're gonna do the thing you do with all that information, right? What are you babbling about? The brainy thing you were talking about just a few minutes ago, sir. Logic. You said that you can look into all your leads and info by pressing Q. Then you pick the ones that seem related to the space and connect them with T. That's your way of investigating, right, sir? Yes, which is why this exercise in explaining my own method to me was unnecessary. Okay, then how about explain my logic to you next? That is even more unnecessary. Okay. Proof by prosecutor badge. Oh, I should have made myself one of those. Instead of a lawyer badge. No, I'll keep the lawyer badge. Save. Fired. Link to the victim's admin. Profiles. Oh yeah, I can look at profiles. So speaking of him, he's killed in my office. Okay. See if I can get anything. Okay, no, I can't actually. I don't think I can actually use the, profiles in the deductive reasoning. I'm not sure where the connection there really lies. I'm gonna present him with things. Profiles. Jock sportsman. Jock sportsman. How do I present? Oh, I can't present a profile yet. Secret safe. I had no idea you had one of those things. I mean, I thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've caught a glimpse of the hidden side of Miles Edgeworth. There's a great deal you don't know about me. At least I hope so. The victim's gun, huh? It's the same model as mine. A tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield a great responsibility. I hope you understand that. I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is when I'm fighting a hot duo with a convict to look ultra cool. You were doing so well until that last bit. I'm just a lowly detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it. Gun? There is a gun. Yeah. Gumshoe barely uses his gun, and that's how you know he's not American. Yeah, apparently there's 2 of them that were used in this crime scene. This one only fired 1 shot, but 2 shots got fired. 1 over here and 1 over here. So we gotta figure out where the other gun is. Also, this guy's the murderer. There's a cutscene at the beginning, and it's this guy. And he's acting like he just figured out that his partner's dead. Like he's not the one who shot him. Mr. Portsmouth, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring him to justice. You wait and see, it'll be for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's alright. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation. No? Okay, then I guess I have to make some sort of connection here, because there's nothing else I can do right now. Okay. Signs of a struggle. Another handgun. Theft. Maybe the handgun and signs of a struggle. I'm not sure. I mean, there's only so many connections I can make with 3 pieces of evidence. Yeah, they don't go together. I couldn't either. Okay, motive, theft, signs of a struggle. I don't know. Those are the ones that go together. There's a possibility the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Ah, I see it. Oh, you mean like it could be from the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve these files like you've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you has pondered that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Edgeworth knows. He knows. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? We put your ass in jail. First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The blood stain on the bookshelf is still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell on the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have time to deal with your weak stomach right now. Yeah, it is a lot of blood. It is a lot of blood. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. I mean, there's blood here on these guys. I'm also noticing 2 handprints. A, B, C, D, E, 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, 2E, 2F, 2E, H. The victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot. Those are the prints on the— oh, there's a bullet wound there. I didn't even notice the bullet hole in the book. Oh yeah, if you got shot up here, then there's no reason the bullet should be down there. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. Yeah, there's a bullet hole there. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. They had a lot of blood. It appears the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That would be the logical conclusion. Unless he was on his period. The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf. The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. Not everything. Oh. I put them all back, just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. It feels like I've got everything. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Let me take a look at the evidence. Victim's abdomen. So, stomach area. That bullet hole was really far, was really low to the ground. So he must have been sitting or something. I mean, I'm gonna try this. Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. That's what I was saying. The victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot. Which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mind detective. He called Gumshoe stupid. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused the problem with the bullet hole's position? I mean... Order of the files, probably, yeah. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the letter O? Oh, the number 0. What are you doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently, yeah? But from this we know the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption just as you did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up just to see how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole isn't now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then I put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. I can't read. I can't read. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. Okay, this is bothering me. Because they're like, based on a head-on, but based on the angle, you should be able to see the side of this binder. But there's nothing. It's missing. And that's bugging me a little bit. Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give another look. Okay. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. We figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed, there are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information. There must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. But there is no time to ponder that now. Let us continue with our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. These handprints belong to the victim, right? They make sense of the body position. Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-tooth comb one more time. Yeah, and then here... This... What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake! I trust Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! I mean, based on the evidence, you know, gum, and then it's missing a binder, and then, whoo! It's definitely pointing. It's definitely pointing to Gumshoe. But I trust Gumshoe. I trust him. I don't think it was Gumshoe. He would never murder, exactly. And also we know who the murderer is because of the cutscene at the beginning of the case. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Yeah, what about his situation? Is this what the killer was really after? One of the files that was written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit. Well, that was a dumbass move by the culprit. I mean, you write Gumshoe's name on there to get him to incriminate him, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's actually the file that I need. And then you take it. What a dumbass. That's a great question. Why is it upside down? Investigation complete! Yay! Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this is the most important message, man. Oh my god, I really can't read it. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. POV, proof is on the bookshelf written in blood. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court, I'm gonna cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain to me, sir? Might as well. Because I don't know how this one's working. I mean, I did play the original trilogy, so I'm assuming it's not that much different. Alright, first, listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with E, and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use T. That's old news. But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with Q. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out a new information, a new or modified testimony. Yeah, we're about to lawyer this out. You look at Amble, the little PNG tuber guy, you can see I've got my lawyer badge. I drew it like an hour before the stream. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well, I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Hell yeah. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it'll be his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Which is you, buddy. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic, and expose it with credible evidence. There's sportsman logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead.
Hold it!
Hold it. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim? When clearly his name is Buddy Faith. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Isn't it obvious? Jim's the perfect name for my companion. Jackson Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? No. But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jackson Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was third of the bunch of guys that decided to nickname Jim. The third? How do you even figure out who is who? It's like, oh hey Jim, come over and look at this, and like 5 guys run over. Like, what the fuck, man? He talks about the victim like it was his pet. That's what I'm saying! He talks about him like a pet. You got 5 guys running over and his pet dog. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead.
Hold it!
Hold it! Do you really think it was necessary to shovel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay then, maybe its real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know I eat 3 square meals a day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but... Poor thing, what an evil prosecutor you paired up with. And what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf.
Hold it!
Why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way and he had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway... Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. Oh, actually, no, I can present something for that. One of the files is missing. Present. Objection! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be so brought down by the power of his own office. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see it? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! See, this is what I'm talking about. Dumbass. Dumbass for taking the file that he wrote the bloody name on. What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are about a certain case, when the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. Objection! It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone, and there's only half the H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood in one of the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Ugh. Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? Makes the work of a criminal intent of tampering with the crime scene. That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get him, sir! You'll see! I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time! Well, Mr. Portsman? We are cooking, we got this. Brilliant, brilliant, absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of the Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win, and you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. Yeah, I think Buddy will agree with you. I'm not calling him Jim. Ah, but you know it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however. What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me! Gumshoe, honey, you've just fallen right into his trap. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Why did you put the jacket on? You look like a nerd. He's innocent! Clearly. He's Gumshoe. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He can't stand the sight of blood. He can't kill anyone. Unless he did it without... Unless he did it through a means that would lead to no blood. Like poisoning. And why do I sense that you still have something to say? Just wanna show your shoulders to the whole world, why don't you? Well, I was thinking, did you know there's one other person with a key to this office? One other person? He took it off again. Hey, you there! Yes, sir! What is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? Now stop it, pal, don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird! A member of security! Oh, hey Maggie. Glad to see that you're not being accused of murder this time. You're just a witness. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. By it, I mean the Okay, no, never mind. She is being accused of murder this time. Every time I see Maggie, she's always being accused of murder. Oh, Maggie. Oh, man. Oh, poor Maggie. What? Yeah, we can clear the name. We can totally clear her name, If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room! That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me! That's right, I did it! Gumshoe, come on, man! Gumshoe! I understand you have a crush on Maggie, and that's great. But dude, you can't be taking the fall for it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Oh, well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Gumshoe, man, we just spent all that effort proving it wasn't you. And now you're just saying that it was. Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics, Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now! The flow of a good match always changes during a rally.
It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the Master Key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Sportsman to give me more details is to press him. Okay, got it. Reason for suspicion.
Pretty obvious Miss Bird snuck into your room using the Master Key.
Yes. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the Master Key?
There's only one person on staff this time of night, and tonight she's it.
That seems like a security hazard. Yeah, interrogating time once again.
Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the Master Key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
That seems pretty related, pal. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. Yeah, seriously, man. I couldn't use the Master Key at the time of the crime. Oh yeah, that's unrelated. Seems pretty related to me.
Well, you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time.
Are there no security cameras in this building? Are there no security cameras in this building? Should I hear Miss Bird out? Ask for more details. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
Fuck you. We're hearing her out. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered the Master Key was missing at around 1 AM, sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Sportsman, I believe this has to be an important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know, why do you have the Master Key now? I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Likely story. Where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with?
But you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Usually. Yeah, pal, trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Yeah, you don't. You really don't. I mean, she's being interrogated for murder for the 3rd time. And she's, like, literally, like, 23, I think. She's been interrogated for murder a lot. Actually, let me check that. Profile, Maggie Bird. 23, I was right. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, but... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish it was theft?
I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows, it's time to counteract with a few facts of my own.
Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery, yeah.
Hold it! I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery, however.
Glad to hear the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me.
However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe,
Hey, good thinking asking for my opinion on the matter.
Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Maybe Detective Gumshoe wasn't the one who opened the door.
Hold it! Hold it. I thought we'd established Detective Gumshoe's innocent pretty thoroughly.
It was just a theory. One hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. Are you sure? I don't believe you. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up on the pace and see if we can't catch up to it. I didn't think you're catching me drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, I hope you'd understand what I'll say. But since she is the only one who could open your office door, that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect.
Hold it!
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Well, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else? I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what you are insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest someone like you would. Witchy knows our good detective, doesn't she?
Hold it!
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know? When you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. What? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Uh-huh. Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
Hold it!
Pressing you. By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. Just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence! I would love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying. Press him for more information. Okay, well I pressed every statement. Let me look at my evidence. Master key stolen from the security office. Stolen by the culprit. Only prosecutors know about them, so I mean it feels like Miss Bird wouldn't know about it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. I just need to let someone in. Never mind, someone else got it. Yeah, she wouldn't have known about the safe, so it feels like Detective Gumshoe was going open door. Wipe down safe. Okay, yeah. It was here I presented to present. Objection! Do you wish to continue insinuating that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyways. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. That means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Yes, we fucking are, buddy. Yes, we are. Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? I have a suspect in mind. The only guy on screen. It's the only guy on screen. Curses! Why, what made you—
Well, what's with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault! What do you mean? It's Jim! He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
Then that means...
Yeah, I know. I only just told him, too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief, and you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Oh my god, he keeps changing the narrative. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing's a bit too far even for your risking profession. Oh, he's backed into a corner. He is grasping at straws here.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she stumbled upon Jim, who'd probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was a thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? And just now you were saying that the Maggie couldn't have had the key stolen. No, she just misplaced it. But now you're saying that it was stolen. It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Sportsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now that I think we're done here, the investigation waits for no man. Oh yeah, no, you gotta call it here or else they're gonna figure out that it was you. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? This is my office, buddy. This is my office. What do you mean I should see myself out? You see yourself out! Into a jail cell.
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Exactly. Now that I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show. I don't think that he should be the prosecutor for his dead partner. This feels like some sort of violation of something. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Sportsman. We will meet again. That's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. Except it's not gonna be continued because I'm not ending the stream yet. We're gonna keep going. Alright, save complete. Yeah. And back. We keep going. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. Why is there a ball here? I like the lamps, they look cool. They look like Lily of the Valley.
What's with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir.
But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir.
True. So then what now?
Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch.
Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well.
There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir?
For example, this hallway.
The linchpin of this argument against Miss Bird is related to the Master Key. In that case, this hallway is a perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Investigation beginning. Alright, first... Oh, that's why there's a basketball. Why is there a basketball hoop in here? Like, okay, yeah, we have the basketball explained now, but what the fuck is up with this? Also, is that Winston Payne? Winston Payne, what the hell are you doing here? This is not your case. Okay. Yeah, that's the end of the hallway, obviously. Okay, what's of this? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. It's the file! There it is! It's...
Ah! Isn't that the missing Zero Series file, sir?
No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So what does Zero Files about, sir? I guess they got something worth stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's say I was clearly charged with keeping them as they were.
That means the thief also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages relate to that case from 10 years ago are missing.
I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case.
I wonder. Well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent.
Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know? Oh.
You would sleep even out here, detective, in a hallway.
Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful?
Maybe I should give it a try sometime, to envision myself winning naturally. And that's everything here. Okay. So... basketball, for some reason. What is a basketball doing here?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir.
Ah, I see it. Oh, so this must be Mr. Sportsman's office.
I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway.
And now we got the hoop, which... Oh, wait, I had it for a second. There we go.
What does a basketball hoop do in here? I mean, obviously, it's for the basketball, you know? Hey, didn't this used to be outside next to the building a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors?
I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently.
Drag it?
I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself.
All the way up to the 12th floor? Oh, poor guy that had to bring it up here. Okay, Winston Payne, what the fuck is your deal? It looks like you're in quite a pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly post haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious, I will keep your offer in mind. I won't. Who is this guy again? Mr. Winston Payne. This office, 1203, 1203. Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas? We should break in. Hey, you have the master key, right? Maggie. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream, where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. Oh yeah, and all of the other cases she was in, the prosecutor handling the case wasn't Edgeworth. The first time it was Payne, and the second time it was Goto. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with tea. The victim? Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just the ones I'd have loved to play with them. Sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was passing the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'd fit in all the will hold them. Hi, Maggie. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you were an acquaintance of the detective? She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. So I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I remember this one. How did you survive? That was mentioned in the Phoenix Wright games too. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard. Why is that surprising to you? You were a criminal when you were a police officer. You were a criminal when you were a cafe worker. Security guard is the least of the worries. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Mr. Bird. Mr. Miss, oh my god, I can't read. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Okay. Gotta present some evidence. Can I present profiles? Nope. Okay. A body. Just a, yeah, lowly security guard. Not sure what I can do with that other than guard it! The revolver. Back. No, no. No, back. Sorry. No, no, no. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah. Yeah. Might have been last place. Yep, okay. Back. Present the gun. Okay, nope, you don't know anything about it. The safe, yeah, you don't know anything about it. The binder! You don't know anything about it. Then it's gotta be the key. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge when the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those 2 times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? I admit I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it, I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key. Okay. Use the master key? For what do you mean you used the master key? I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as security guard, right? Ah. What is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Sportsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to the security office, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone, I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then what? What happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Okay. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Okay. Now we're looking at the door. Yep. 1203. I take it this is Mr. Portsman, or... Oh my god. I take it this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd? Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Ugh, why am I even wasting time thinking about this? The door is locked tight. Yeah, I bet the old credit card trick would work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors will be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. Ah, so I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion whenever to... Oh my god, I actually cannot talk. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? A minimalistic yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's kinda majestic too. Fits in real well with the ambience of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these. Nonsense, a man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. Basketball hoop. This is Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of the prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? And I think that's everything to look at.
Okay. Yeah, examine the door. Is it time to do some deductive work? This, another handgun. Master key was stolen. Use the master key. Hey, wait a minute. That's a contradiction. Yeah, that's a contradiction. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I'd totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then. I thought maybe I could go to lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess this door still hasn't been locked properly. But it was locked when we looked at it before. Okay. So that's a contradiction right there. No, no, back. Okay. Yeah, no, there's nothing here right now. Maybe I talk to Maggie? Could present, yeah. But the door was... Okay, maybe I go back to the door, actually. Yep. Every suspicious looking nook and cranny. The door is locked tight. You heard about the old, credit card trick, culprit. Okay, no, that's not. Oh, yes, deduce, I can deduce, Yes, it is, You could not lock it up. Eureka! There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is the door locked tight? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means... What, sir? It means that he actually does have the key to his office. Or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door, but how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Number plate. The prints on the number plate, well, that will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Like... Oh, for example... Okay, never mind. Wow, that was amazing, sir. How'd you know? Is that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. Yeah, that was it. That was a joke. It was totally a joke. We need to examine the prints on the doorknob, obviously. Hey, you, pal, do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what'd you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril-flaring, detective. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Faith's prints on the doorknob. So the only two people's prints who were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? It's Maggie Bird.
Take that!
Take that! Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Miss Maggie Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one.
What have we here? A paper! Paper. What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. About the 3 pieces of evidence by something talked about on the phone. But it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up with you later, buddy. Yeah, it's from Mr. Portsman. Okay. And then, look at the basketball. Is basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always oh my god. Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is. He's game. Although I think I'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. I really can't talk today. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean up his toys after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Yeah, I don't really think I need to. No, it's not what I meant to do. It's also not what I meant to do. Okay, also apparently not what I meant to do. Oh, no, there was something to look at here. What's this, What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of the soup to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of this hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this. Basketball hoop has been jotted down in the organizer. Okay. Now I have everything I need. Not for this. Okay, look at the organizer. But there's signs it has been moved. Her prints were not found on the doorknob. I feel like I can put those two together, but it's not time for that yet. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. Word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Alright, what do I do now? Never hurts to take another look. Okay, we're looking again. Oh, the door. Door, yep, we've already seen that. Okay, door... Okay, now everything is for sure checked. Really? No? Yep. Basketball hoop. That's there. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should look at my own door. Just until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. See any signs of forced entry? But according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle, wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. There we go, that was the last thing I needed to look at. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat, with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, as long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too! I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on Truth's door. Which is my door. Knock knock. We're back in my office. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letter, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Hurrah! Well, if it is a Detective Gumshoe, end of the line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you were the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I could see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karmer, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. And there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence of that guy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do not give those accusations for Edgeworth, man. Do not do that. Really teaches me I've gotta stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Oh, yeah, maybe some also true accusations as well. Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Mr. Portsman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I got work to do, so we're done here. Oh, no, we are not. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on. With evidence. Mr. Portsman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but...
Hold it!
Hold it. My accusation is harebrained idea, is it? You tell me, I'd say it is, after all. There's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit.
Hold it!
Hold it. Oh? And what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here? Good evening, Lamelin. We're about to prove that Portsman was the murderer of his partner. Work partner, not romantic partner. Or maybe romantic partner, I don't know. But yeah, he killed him, and we're proving that it was him. It was my partner. You can't say I had a motive for killing him. Also, his name's not Jim. His partner's name was Buddy Faith, but he keeps calling him Jim for some reason. I don't know. And that's it. That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? Nope. Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means? Doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. Yes, it does. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here?
Hold it!
Just pressing, seeing if there's anything else. Fortunately, I believe I have already shown how earlier. Your speculations mean nothing, as I still insist I could not gain access to your room. What should I do now? Should I raise an objection? Raise an objection, No way to open. You claim to have had no way to open my door. However, is that really the honest truth? Alright, I'll humor you. Go ahead, shoot. Very well then. I propose that you use this to open my door. The master key.
Take that!
Take that! I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Objection! Wait, hold on for a second. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you're able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right, you used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Maggie Bird.
Take that!
Take that. You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kinda forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Miss Bird open at the time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. Well, why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet what if you had misled her, to fool her into thinking what you wanted? How do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Maggie Bird think it was his room? It was the basketball hoop.
Take that!
Take that! What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. That's very true, sir, because there is a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop had been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Why is it? Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Conjectures rebuttal. Now you're just spouting nonsense, Chris.
Hold it!
Hold it. Nonsense, you say? Yes, because I'm telling the truth here. Had the girl open my office door.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course. Sure. You have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth for some sort of people like you. After that, I was in my room the entire time.
Hold it!
Pressing. And what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog whenever I get the chance. Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. The weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so... You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
Hold it!
Hold it. I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually. But none of those would stand up on their own. Objection! Then what about all the evidence? Objection! It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence. He seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony. Okay. Spouting nonsense. Then the girl opened my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. Stolen from the security office. So not found on the doorknob. Oh yeah, her prints weren't found on the doorknob. That's the... And the girl opened my office door. Well then, why were her prints not there, you dummy? Objection! I had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way, if she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Objection! But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Is that really a fact, or is it fiction? Hey, why would I lie to you? I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time as you claim. Okay. Ah, here it is.
Take that!
Take that! This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole it into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out, possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Or just what's so funny, pal? Well, the look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and even backed it up. You're the murderer! Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's also circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see? I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim and I own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Okay. And how would that prove anything? I don't... What is the line of logic here? I don't... Like, early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although this is no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. But you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth! Back me up here, sir! Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove he and simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized this once we were all talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. Okay, here we go again. There we go. Memory serves, you came back to this office around 2 AM, correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. How? Okay, now that is actually a really good alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe? Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Sure. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him around 2 AM. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point of his alibi somewhere. Portsman's alibi, Okay, I'm gonna press him on everything.
Hold it!
You are correct, it was around 2 AM. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. Oh, really cannot talk today. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so came back to your office around 2. It was then they had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however... Yes, however, you were the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? If it was me, we would have been done with this already. Did I say me? You. If it was you, we would have been over this already. It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see you. Objection! Oh, come on now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time I was down in criminal affairs. Arrest. Hold it. So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit? Yep. Right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. It is a very good alibi. Well, we did go around and ask to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you at around that time. See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line. It's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir. Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe!
And there goes Maggie.
Is there nothing I could do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. There must be a way. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that could help cast doubt on his alibi? The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. Then who could it have been? I need to calmly think this through one more time and with logic. Once before... Another handgun. And there's another handgun. So they connect. Whoever I met with had the other handgun. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life. And one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon was only shown signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who made a visit to my office tonight. Whoa. Files in disarray and another visitor. Boom! There were 2 thieves! Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun, and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one pointed at my back,
Objection!
Objection! Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great! So you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth! Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the fix? Not at all, it simply means the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice, and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Objection! Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know? If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Grr. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that would be the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then... bang! He killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another? Visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen zero file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice, and the 2 bullets, it was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met with was just a thief, and not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
Objection! What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth's after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition was that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Portsman's alibi part 2. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened here after I left. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief, Of course. Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay, time to press everything. Thief your attitude should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say?
Hold it.
Pressing. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer had clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the O files, right?
And that's how we know that the letters themselves were a setup, and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Yeah.
Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either.
Yeah, that must be it.
Maybe. We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby.
Hold it!
Pressing on that too. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby.
Well, you never know.
Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief.
It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything. After all, I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room.
Hold it!
Hold it. But according to Mr. Faith's note,
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left the note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left here at a different time, say, just before he was murdered,
I don't have any, no.
You see, so I insist again, I was in my office the entire time. When Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I went down to criminal affairs.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
That's because he said he was tired and gonna take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway, he likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he bought?
They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items.
A gun and a pendant.
A gun.
Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Okay, wait, let me look at that. Okay, 2 items. Yeah, hold on. A gun and a pendant. Okay, well, here's 1 gun. Do I have anything resembling a pendant? I do not. Me. 3 pieces of evidence, Maya. Hold on. Objection! You said 2 pieces of evidence. He brought 3. Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail.
Excuse me.
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully.
It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Gun and a pendant. I mean, is the pendant what he's wearing? So could it be the... Oh, it's more of a... Maybe it's a jacket? Detective Gumshoe. You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pet the guy down from head to toe.
Don't come any closer. I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal, so don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir.
A VHS tape.
Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would be unequivocally point that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into this coffin. KG8 incident. Blood! Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean, this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us, when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video? Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. Yeah. If I had to take a guess, I'd say the only ones on here... I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderers, you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. He ate the metal! Oh my god! Oh, and he's just dead. He's choked, he's eaten the metal, and he's dying. Okay. Yeah, sure, you do you, Mr. Portsman. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Safe, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in the murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky it was only a burglary and murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Whoopee! Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt, Well, I heard there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There was even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Oh, Edgeworth would know all about those kinds of accusations. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh? Well. If Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? The Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy. I mean, he is the bad guy, but you know, there could be more than one. We already know this. There were two people that broke in here. I didn't say that, but rather there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence. Files! Take that! The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. What happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that helped me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is it a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. This is the mark of the raven, the three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. We got another Shelly the Killer situation. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yadagarasu. Yadagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yadagarasu is a noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yadagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yadagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is set forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yadagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yadagarasu. Yadagarasu, organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yadagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Oh, 2 days ago. The 12th. March 12th. We're getting closer to my birthday with that one. If it was 4 days ago, then it would be my birthday. The end. That's the end of this case. I would love to save my progress. Thank you. Yes. Save. Okay. Save complete. Woo! Alright. So. Nice. Okay. That's one case done, and that'll be the stream. Next stream, well, not the next one, because the next one is going to be an art stream, because it's the Ludum Dare Game Jam, and I'm going to be an artist on that jam. But the stream after that, so next week, is gonna be episode 2, Turnabout Airlines. So be ready for that. That'll be the stream. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.